The duck is back. The duck is back. I thought we'd be doing the ride, but long story short, delay. We got the tank back on the bike, and we'll have a look at that in a minute. Found a little problem, and I was sorting it, and I thought I'll just do a video on it so you guys know the detail, and something to watch out for. So what I wanted to do last time, I'll just move the camera, was I just wanted to, this brake, make sure you're in the shot. Yep. I noticed last time when I was riding this bike that the brake pedal was a bit low, and when I say a bit low, you had to sort of point your toe too far to get it come into contact. So I thought, I'll whip this out. This is for those of you who don't know, this goes in here like so, and that is a bolt what goes through here, and so that was all right. I pulled it out, and then I noticed that the bolt was quite short, cap head, and then I realized that these ball joints, when they get faulty, they have the ability for that ball to pop out. And you can imagine if that, so to be clear, that is in there like so, right, and then the bolt goes through there into this arm, right, like so. And what there should be is especially if you're using these cap heads, there should be a washer behind that cap head. So if that ball becomes faulty and pops out, it doesn't have the ability to pop out off the bolt, right? So the bolt head should be bigger. Now when I measure this, it's saying 11 mil, and the ball, when I put the ball sideways and measure it, see, it's saying 12.6, which is probably ½ inch, but it's 12.6, which means that if that ball does come adrift, it has the ability to fly off over the top of that cap head, and then effectively your brakes will drop off. And you can see there's already had a bit of damage in here, and I don't know what that's being caused by. So what I've decided to do, the other thing is that there's no lock nut. There should be a lock nut on the end of here, so if for every reason that this comes undone, it can't come out because it's got a lock nut on the end, and it didn't have it. So I'm replacing it with this, a longer bolt with the washer. This washer is slightly bigger, and then I've measured that, the OD on that, the outside diameter on that is 14.3. So even if that ball becomes faulty, it cannot shove it off, right? And that's going to go in there right, it's going to go through there, and you can see it'll come through this other side, and we'll have plenty of room to get the lock nut on, right? And that will feel 100% safer. And I've mentioned it before, all these stabilizing arms on these bikes, these stabilizing arms in here, what stabilize the engine, see how it's got the washer in there? That is so if that arm becomes faulty and jumps off, it can't jump off, right? Now those ones down in there, they've got bolts, so I've made sure that it's got that. But you see up in here, it's got the stabilising arm there, and these stabilising arms are common to clapping out, but you don't want that stabilising arm popping off over that cap head, you see? So I've put, I don't know if you see that, I've put the washer underneath it so it can't do that, right? So that's one thing what sort of just slowed the whole operation up, but it's flying along. The other thing that I've been wanting to show you girls and boys, everyone, is a trick that I've been doing for years and years, and I want to pass some information which will make you guys' life a whole lot easier. Let's see if I'm in this shot. I might just take a bag of it. And which is setting up these air boxes. Now, I'm not saying to do it for this. This is just, I'm just using this as an example, right? But basically, if you have this is, I learnt this years ago, been doing it for over 20 years on bikes, so it's worth listening, and it'll make your life so much easier. And some of you will go, oh yeah, I know that trick, and some of you will go, wow, why didn't I think of that myself? That's so easy, and it just saves you so much grief. So keeping in mind, this is just an example. Where I usually do this is for cover engines, like putting the cap on the side of the engine. I done this when I put primary covers on. I do this anywhere where I'm holding a big cover, okay, or there's multiple things to hold. So what it is these here, right? And these are old cap heads that I've chopped the top off, right? It's an old, it's an old cap head. I've chopped the top off and put a screwdriver slot on it, right? And what I do with these is it's so easy. Anything like this, or like I said, a primary cover, just put these in. You put two in, screw them in like that. This has had, it's got 5, 6, 7 Loctite in it, right? So it doesn't want to screw in very good. But anyway, on this example, it's good enough, right? And on this bike, we've got a multiple cover on it, you see. And then we've got the air filter, just goes on there like that. We've got the cover, what goes on there like that. See how it holds it for you. And then we've got this one. We got this one that goes over the top, okay, like so. Yes, and then basically you've got your, make sure you're still in the shot. Basically we just put this bolt in here, and because those two are lining everything up, half our job is done for us. And then it's a simple case of just getting a screwdriver. Well, we mightn't even need a screwdriver, to be honest. Probably just undo. Take one out and put this one in. Take this one out and put this one in. All right, trick of the day. And if you've been doing this system, good on you. I totally recommend it, right? Like if you're putting primary covers on with those big gaskets, and they're worth so much money. Here in New Zealand, a primary gasket's getting up to $50 or so. The thing is, if you've got these guides on it, you just slide the gasket on and it holds it all for you. It's half the work's done. I can't stress it enough. The only thing I would suggest is what I try to do now is I try to get these ones, when I'm doing those primary gasket ones, I try to get these ones with no threads, right? And then the gasket slides on across them a lot easier. Anyway, I know because this guy will be wanting the tank's on. We're getting there. I hope you're all having a good one. I'm having a good one. Finally back in the shed. I love it in my shed. Whichever shed I'm in, I love it. And hopefully next video, start up. No, not start up. Right. I gotta clean it. I don't clean bikes at ground level. It's just I'm getting too old, so I'll give it a clean and then drop it down, and hopefully, fingers crossed, and I hope everyone's crossing their fingers that we won't have any more dramas. All right, have a good one. The duck is